How's it going? How have you
Great,
been?
great,
So
fantastic.
obviously, I'm joined by Juan Carlos Gomez,
Hello,
and
everyone.
it's been a minute since we've seen each other. Honestly,
Yeah, no, it's been a wild relationship, but yeah, we definitely we out here now, so that's good.
yeah. What's funny is that we actually have a very similar martial art background with Taekwondo.
Yes.
Yeah. So I remember you told me that obviously you did the WTF Taekwondo, right? Which I think they changed the name to WWF right now.
WT, just because
Oh,
people
WT.
people are very
Yeah.
yeah. So they took
I
out
can
the
see
F.
why.
They took out the F and they did the WT, so it's World Taekwondo.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can kind of see why, but obviously, I started off with ITF.
Mhm.
I was never able to. I never did it with WTF. But
Mhm.
what do you think? How was your experience with WF Taekwondo?
Well, WTF is it was the Olympic style of Taekwondo, which means it was much more sport focused rather
Yeah.
than traditionally focused, right? You see all your martial arts, they focus on self defense, the katas or like the forms or whatnot. But like for the style in particular that I pursued, it was mostly focused strictly for the sport, only
Okay.
focused on point sparring, tactics, a lot of physical training. Very rarely do we ever do like the forms, the stances, the nice formations like your hands and
Yeah.
feet. And it was very rarely that. It was only focused on just get your black belt, cool, okay, but competition, competition, competition. That's all it was.
Okay. So how long did it take you to get like your black belt?
Well, I actually got my black belt. Let me think. This is been a while. And it's funny thing. I'm only first degree. I've been doing taekwondo
Oh,
for like 2 decades, and I've
oh,
I've
really?
only
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
like ever since I was born, like till like when I started when I was like 3, because I'm 23 now. So like
Yeah.
10, 20 years nonstop. But I'm only a first degree black belt. But I got my first degree black belt when I was 14.
14.
14.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that was a while back then.
Yeah, it
Almost
goes by.
almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And like obviously you said it was more sport oriented. Do you think do you think that it was more of a pro or do you think that was more of a con?
Well, I'm sorry to correct on that, but actually, I actually started off very traditional,
Oh,
ironically
really?
enough,
Okay.
in more traditional schools that did not focus on competition. And then once I realized that like fighting Taekwondo style was like the thing that I wanted to do for the rest of my life at that time, right? We immediately, me, my parents and stuff, we all started trying to find schools that were a little bit more technically advanced in the sense that it
Yeah.
was more of a high performance training center. So we looked at all the schools we could find. I found a school all the way in Indiana called Champion Taekwondo with a Y.
Oh,
They were the first ones that hosted high performance, and that's when the focus shifted from traditional to after black belt from traditional to just only competition, and then that's the part I fell in love with. Now, to answer your question about the pros or cons, yes, of course, there's pros and cons. I mean, pros because I got to be on the national team. I got to fight for. I got to be national champion, 5-10 state champion. I got to be world open champion in Mexico. I got to compete in all these different countries around the world, representing my country in Taekwondo, Olympic style, and that was beautiful. I loved it. But the drawbacks of that is that now that I'm going back to my roots because I'm doing kickboxing now. Now I'm doing Muay Thai slash kickboxing. That's my focus now.
yeah.
And I'll go more in that later. But the drawback is that you start to see little snippets of how useful for self defense and practicality purposes are the traditional values of Taekwondo. Like there's specific strikes, there's punches that are done that are chambered and done in a specific way that and there's even like Pumse. We call it Pumse
Yeah.
in World Taekwondo. Pumse, which is in
It's the
Korean.
same in ITF, yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, okay. Because I
Yeah.
thought you guys call it tools, but T-U-L, no?
From
I
what
don't
I
know.
remember, I thought it was Pumse.
Okay, I mean, I know it as Pumse too, but yeah, there's a lot of useful things that are practical in the Pumse that I even apply now, like looking back at kickboxing. I wish I would have paid more attention to, you know.
And in case anyone's wondering what Pumse is, it's basically the same as katas. Like it's just the Korean word for it. Yeah. So obviously like you were talking about like how you transition from like Taekwondo, and you were obviously like very well versed in it as like obviously you told me that you were like champions of like a bunch of different things. And when you transition from Taekwondo to like say like kickboxing or Muay Thai, uh, do you think you had like an edge over other people in like who were just strictly Taekwondo? I mean, who were just strictly Muay Thai kickboxing?
Well, at first, in my blindness of my journey, right, as I was going through, I thought, oh, MMA all the way, right? I'm going to be an
Yeah.
MMA fighter. Yeah, hell yeah. But then when I realized like the intricacies that it involved, right, like the jiu-jitsu, the ground game, the wrestling, the boxing, the kickboxing, the clinch work, the cage work, all of these elements, it was like drinking from a fire hydrant.
Yeah.
So it was a lot for me to take in. So that's why I decided to just let me just go back. Let me fine tune my striking first, and let me make sure that I'm solidified in my striking first. And that's the phase of my journey where I'm at right now. I'm trying to solidify and make a name for myself in the striking realm, so that if in the future, whatever God has, in mind for me, if I want to transition into the ground game, the wrestling, which I don't mind, I love wrestling. Hey man, I wrestled for a semester in high school.
Oh yeah, I remember you told me. Yeah.
Yeah. I got my butt whooped the whole time, but it was okay. It was fun while it lasted. But when it comes to kickboxing and Muay Thai and a standing base of a striking martial art, I believe Taekwondo gave me the ultimate edge in terms of footwork, in terms of timing, in terms of, thinking like this, like a chess player, you have to, every move you make, you have to be 2 steps ahead of the other person just in case of the other person's counter. It's like you're always thinking, your mind is you're making micro calculations in your head as you're fighting, which is like all it is. You're a robot. That's what Taekwondo has taught me to do. The structure, the discipline to cut 20 pounds in a month, to reach to make weights, the sheer discipline to eat right, to train hard, to always be the fastest one, because Taekwondo is about speed. Speed equals power. That's what my master always taught me. So, but there's a lot of drawbacks in other areas, which of course is like my face getting boxed out every single time. When people when a good boxer wants to stay in pound, stay and fight with me in the phone booth. I do not know how to fight in the phone booth yet. So that's because Taekwondo doesn't punch in the face.
Yeah.
We kick to the face, but we punch to the body, but we don't just straight up like, we don't punch to the face. That's not the thing, because that's not the focus. So I had to learn to punch. I had to learn how to punch. I have to learn how to clinch, elbow, knee, maneuver, right? Weave, right? All these things. It's not that I don't know them, because technically the base movements of all these things that I mentioned itself, Taekwondo gives you motor functions to be able to do all those movements. But all of those movements combined give you like you have to learn. You got to have a professor. You got to have a teacher. Someone who's certified, in all these things to teach you, because that's the only way you're going to learn. But there was more, I'd say there's more pros than cons, but the cons is just that I'm a white belt again, and I feel like I'm a baby again. So that's kind of the con, but it's okay. It's the beauty of martial arts anyways, right?
Yeah. No, that's 100% true. Because I remember even one thing that I did is when I already had like a Taekwondo background, but one thing I did is that I went to a boxing gym, and I feel like combining good boxing with Taekwondo, like it really helped elevate my game. And then I just needed to learn the Muay Thai, and of course I'm still learning it. So I feel like combining all that together is like it really helps to solidify your striking altogether.
Oh yeah, 100% agreed. I mean, even the pivoting of boxing, when you pivot around, a focal point like Taekwondo is that's I think Taekwondo when I think of Mike Tyson shuffling and pivoting and displacement of the body and the movement of the legs. That's all Taekwondo. That's the way I see it. So I translate it translates over very, very nicely, I'd say.
I like how you mentioned that, because you know what's actually funny is there's a video, right, where Mike Tyson actually talks about how Cus D'Amato took like certain types of like footwork from karate.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I was like, that actually kind of doesn't make sense, because I was like, he does kind of the way he does move is a little bit kind of like karate-esque, but like most people might not see it, like if they're not aware.
You got to really squint your eyes and like look at it from a unique perspective, and you'll find it. Yeah, I'll see it.
Yeah.
I'll see certain stances in the way he crouches, the way he digs it in, but his hips and his legs bent to a specific angle to deliver the punch. I see that. I see karate and Taekwondo and other martial arts in that.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. And I'm trying to think. So you said that you focused a little bit on grappling and whatnot, right?
On what?
You said you focused a little bit like on grappling and stuff, right?
Oh yeah. So yeah, for sure.
But right now, obviously, you're doing like Muay Thai and kickboxing. How do you like it so far?
I love it. I mean, I'm focusing right now on my striking because my goal is to compete in a Muay Thai or a kickboxing, whatever rules say. K1, I'll do it. I want to show like the spectators, myself, most importantly, and like the people that Taekwondo can. I want to be a physical embodiment of how Taekwondo can translate to these striking arts if you train hard and if you utilize it correctly. And so far, it's been a very up and downhill journey. I'm not gonna lie, it's been uphill, downhill, because I love the gym where I'm going now. I feel so fulfilled to the core. I love it. It's a good energy out there. I go to Max Gym, by the way. It's on Elston Street in Chicago.
I remember.
Yeah, gorilla. That's the logo. The logo. The mascot is a gorilla, and we always make fun of it, but it's hilarious. We love it. It's a good gym. But I've been injured, recently. So unfortunately, I've had a medial and lateral tear on my left ankle. So
oh really? Okay.
Yeah. So I've been resting aggressively. Right? How do you rest aggressively? Right? I don't know.
Just keep icing it.
I'm waiting.
I don't even know what kind of treatment you would do for it, but I think it's probably something. I'm guessing.
Yeah, icing, a lot of PT, a lot of chiropractor work. I also believe I'm a huge believer in Chinese and Asian medicine.
Oh really?
Yeah. I know a guy who's a Peruvian pastor, and he lives all the way far off in like way above Naperville, way above. It's just a desolated part of Illinois. Let's just say it like that, okay? And it's just really up north. And he believes in like CBD oils, special oils, like prayer oil. Like he'll even pray for you. Like he combines a lot of different weird like practices, but they work. Yeah, and he'll like massage you in a specific way on your ankle to like break the blood vessels and make the blood flow again on your. It's something else, because my ankle was like a potato, man. It was like this bad, dude. It was like,
really?
Yeah, because I twisted it. Unfortunately, we were doing biometrics, jumping, up and down normally, and then on the landing, my entire body landed on that one ligament, 2 ligaments actually on my left ankle. So that's just what caused it. So now I'm just resting, and I hope to be back in like 2.5 weeks or so, assuming everything goes to order. But I'm still in a little bit of pain, so I'm resting right now.
Okay, it's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah. No.
You said that you feel like it actually does help though.
It does. He puts like this really heavy horse tranquilizer CBD cream. Okay, I don't know where he gets this stuff from, man, but he just gets it, and it freezes your legs. It's meant to penetrate the glutes, the gluteus maximus of the horses. Really? It's funny enough, because when you do horse racing in Peru, right?
Yeah.
Horse racing, you need to make sure that those muscles specifically are most relaxed for the horses, so they can do like the most stomping power when they're pedaling, right? And I don't know if that's the right word, trotting or racing, whatever.
Yeah.
But that cream is so penetrative that it needs to penetrate the thick muscle fibers of the horse. But now imagine using that on a 170-pound man's ankle. It's like it's nothing. It's just a little thing. Of course, it's gonna go through, right? And it has so much chemicals, but it's really good. It's a topical cream. It's really good. I don't know where he gets this stuff, but yeah, but it's the massaging. He also is knowledgeable about pressure points in the body.
Okay.
So he uses that also to like his advantage to gain access to certain pathways in the body. I don't know. It's a lot of science, but it's good.
You know what's actually funny is that I actually did injure my ankle as well. But like this was like back like junior year of high school in wrestling.
Oh,
like it was pretty bad because it was from like a throw. So the guy like he basically I think I accidentally put my ankle in front of his and all that weight just like basically like it like went on my ankle.
Like was it like a fireman toss or like was
no, it was like a judo style throw.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, and like my foot, I was trying to stop it, and then I guess my foot ended up on his foot, like in front, and then it like sprained my ankle like that way.
Yeah, no, those were the worst, man. Oh.
Yeah, I was out for a while, and then but luckily like one thing that I've learned is that the worst thing you can kind of do with like any type of injury usually is just leaving it there and not doing anything with it. So you kind of have to like strengthen it back up again. That's what I realized, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, of course, like I did work in like PT, which is physical therapy, and in that I also learned like it's basically like about strengthening back that muscle because it's weak now, right? So you have to strengthen it back up, and usually that tends to be like a good solution, unless it's like of course like a fracture or something. That's like different. But usually, like with most injuries, it's about like keeping that movement going.
I see.
All right, it doesn't have to be like extreme, but like at least like that motion of it.
Like
yeah.
Well, that's where I'm at right now. I mean, I'm just trying to make sure that my ligaments and my muscles and my body are fully back to shape, so that I can go back and do my thing.
Yeah. Obviously, I know that you're a fan of chess as well.
Oh yes, man. Like this is a complete accident, by the way. We were just talking about this before the call, but like he was like I was just like we were setting up, and he was like, oh, I like your chess set. I'm like, oh, whoa, I didn't even notice this. But no, yeah. I mean, I do have a whole setup here next to me. It's a decorative set. It's nothing fancy, right? It's just it's an entire.
It looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a wooden arsenal of chess pieces. I am a chess fanatic, so I mean, I do love to get into that.
What's actually funny? I first got into chess when like my uncle, like he introduced me to it. Yeah, and this was a while back when I like visited India.
Chess is super huge in India. Oh my goodness, bro! Like you guys have like some freaking killers out there right now. I'm following up on the chess world right now.
Okay.
And you guys have this young prodigy, not Anish Giri. You guys have why can't the name hit me right now? It's this young kid. He's defeating like grandmasters, super GMs. He's defeating like all these top players, and it's just crazy because he's just a 15-year-old kid.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. Not Vishy. Vishy Anand was the one before him. It was. When I get to the name, I'll let you. Pragnanda. Search that name up. Pragnanda. Oh, this guy, Prag for short. This guy's a genius level kid from India, and he's just swiping these people left and right.
Really?
You guys have chess is huge out there for sure.
I think it actually did originate from there, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. I don't know. I mean.
Yeah, I did a little bit of research on the history. I think it originated in India, then carried over to Persia, and then from there, like kind of like spread to like the rest of the world. Yeah,
and you'd think that you would typically think that because of like the concept of the queen, the king, the bishop, the rook, and stuff, like you would think.
Yeah.
Like English.
I mean, they have different names. They actually have different names for So like obviously my uncle when he taught me, right? Like he was using the names of like the names are different over there compared to in America, right? So um you know that yeah, like that big piece right there.
The
Yeah.
rook.
Yeah, that one. So obviously in America I think what do they call it?
The rook.
The rook, right? Over there they call it the elephant.
I
Yeah.
see. I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. And then I think it's the bishop, right? The other one?
The bishop is the bishop.
Yeah, that one, yeah, that one. So over there they actually call it the camel.
The camel.
Yeah.
The camel. Okay.
And of
So,
course the horse is the horse.
oh, really? Okay. I thought it was gonna be like some, like hippo or something. I don't know. Okay. Okay. I just wanted to understand.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's kind of
king and queen, right?
king and queen, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Culture relativism.
Yeah.
Right?
And like I always thought, it actually does kind of make sense because I feel like chess, like I mean, it's kind of like a war strategy type of game. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
how I always viewed it. And I think most people would probably agree with that,
Yeah.
right? And it's kind of like I don't know if you've ever seen like football before they're planning out how to play a game. It's like they're
Yeah,
always
like on
talking
the planning chart, or like when the players have like their little strap here, like where they like write down the moves, right? Something like that.
yeah, or sometimes even on the football itself, they'll be
Like on
like
the
this,
clipboard. Yeah.
here, and then
Yeah.
you go over it. That's how I always viewed it with chess. It's like
Oh
it
yeah.
probably was used as like originally as this is how we're going to attack.
Yeah, I mean, like it's crazy. You know, my girlfriend was actually the one who got me into it, and her father, when he used to teach her, would say that you have to think like you are the general. These are your troops, so you need to assemble your troops and push them in such a way where you gain victory, and when you lose, the less troops. That was the way, like kind of like that was the philosophy, that she follows. And when I play her now, that's kind of her style. She's so conservative, bro. Like it's like if you and I were in a fight and like I were to try to punch you like 500 times and you would never get hit once, but you'd barely hit me. And when you would hit me, it would hurt. I can't explain it. Like, it's like some
Counter. What is
yeah,
it?
like some Goku Ultra Instinct stuff, man. Like you never get hit, but like when you do hit, boom, it's like, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm a huge anime nerd. I'm a huge nerd with a lot of things. So like I'll bring like different viewpoints from like shows that I watch and stuff. I don't know. I'm a geek when it comes to those things, And I guess doing this, it really elevates that statement.
Yeah. I don't know. Obviously, like I know like chess master, but like the way that I play is I try to eliminate as many pieces as I can.
Well, I would hate you, bro. I would freaking hate you playing with you. Oh my god. Oh, those are the worst, dude. Oh,
I don't know
like
why. I just like to like I don't know what it is, but I just like seeing. Okay, I've collected this many pieces.
So you just like to kill everything, man. Like you're just a murderer.
Like I mean, unless I can actually get checkmate.
Yeah, of course.
But like usually I just play it like it's kind of like slow, but like it eventually builds up. I guess.
I would hate to play you because I like to move on the board. I like to be free. I like to do whatever I want on the board. And if you just kill all my pieces that I use to make like crucial plans, and like everything just changes, It's just, but that's people play like that. That is a legitimate strategy, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also kind of like a demoralizing strategy.
Oh yeah.
It's like, like I took all your pieces. Now you have barely anyone left.
Yeah, no, that's wow. That was good. That was good.
For real. You know what's actually funny? I have played against people that do like they'll like make a really big move at the start.
Yeah.
And that usually I've always found that to be very interesting, but like they're still able to pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, there's an attack. I mean, I don't want to get too technical because I don't want to derail too much, but there's an attack with the queen, which is the most powerful piece. It's called the wayward queen attack, where you just slide your queen like smack dab in the middle of the board, and you threaten checkmate in 3. Like it's weird. It's a big move.
I remember you were saying that you were watching some anime. What kind of anime are you into?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so like when I say that I'm a geek, like I am a geek, but I mean, people there's anime lovers and there's hardcore anime lovers. developers. Like I fall in the category of just like the basic norms of what it is to be an anime lover. Like I like my Dragon Ball Z. I like some Naruto. I like some One Piece. I like some Fairy Tail. I like okay, Sailor Moon, but not because I like it, because my sister used to like Sailor Moon, so I would watch Sailor Moon with my sister. Okay.
Oh, really? I've heard of that.
No, don't be thinking something. I wasn't into it like that, but it was just interesting to watch because of
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But mostly it's all Dragon Ball Z, to be honest.
Oh, Dragon Ball Z. Okay.
It's mostly.
I've gotten into it as well. Like it's obviously it's very fighting oriented.
Yes.
So I can see why a lot of martial arts really relate to. Yeah, that one too. Yeah, I remember watching that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one was also pretty good. I mean, it was very how do I say this? Very leaning towards MMA, I guess, because they do talk about that concept of mixing arts. Yeah, and I also like how they had like some like big names in there, like Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson. I found that to be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That out too.
They never had anyone like Bruce Lee though in there.
Wouldn't Baki? I mean, I don't know. Baki, I guess.
Yeah.
He's kind of his own dude, but I haven't watched the detail to talk about it, enough. But I know some basic. I know a lot of inspiration for martial artists come from Baki.
Yeah.
I mean, they have Baki Muay Thai shorts. Like they sell them on. Yeah.
I think they even have like Naruto and stuff too.
They got Naruto. They got DBZ. Like I got myself a DBZ Goku shirt. I got the Vegeta one. I got the.
I've been meaning to get one.
Yeah, and it's tight. It's supposed to be like a rash, but it's a.
Yeah. No, I always thought they were pretty cool. Yeah.
No, I loved it. Yeah, for sure. For the longest.
You know what's actually funny is that my friends have been trying to get me into anime, and like, I've been slowly, getting into it as well. But my only problem with it is that sometimes, like, the series is just too long.
It's long because of the filler episodes. If you just
exactly.
If you fine tune a search on Google where you say like Dragon Ball Z without the filler episodes, you'll get like half at most.
Yeah, that's true. But like my one friend, he was trying to get me into. I don't know if you heard of One Piece.
Yeah, One Piece. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, so like it has like over 1,000 episodes, and I was like, bro, how am I supposed to watch this? Like
I did not watch all 1,000 episodes.
Like,
not at all.
I was like,
no, I'm good.
I was like, how am I supposed to watch this? Like, I have a life, and if I just,
man, I got a job.
There's no way I would finish this in like even 10 years if I like took like an episode a day. Like, you know what I mean? And they're still making it, so like I will probably never end up catching up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dragon Ball Z has a lot of episodes too, though. Well, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, and then then the movies and whatnot. But it's a lot.
No, that's true. I don't know. Like me personally, like I've never been able to keep up with shows if they've had like long like episodes.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch like up to like 50 episodes and then I'll stop.
But like, do you lose interest? Like, do you lose the hook?
It's not that I necessarily lose interest. It's just like how why is this going on for so long? I just naturally, I don't know. I just naturally don't watch shows for that long.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Which is why like I'll like unless it's like a series where it's like 50 this series, 50 that series. Or I mean I shouldn't say series, like seasons. You know.
Okay.
Then I might like, because it's kind of new. Each season probably is new, so I'll probably stick with it. Besides, I guess a little bit I do lose interest sometimes.
I mean, personally, I'm asking because personally I have commitment issues with series. Like I can't, like, give me something good. Like give me something to stay in. Like when I was younger and I had more time and I didn't have 2 jobs and I was just doing my own thing. I mean, it was easier for me to just focus on Dragon Ball Z training and school, like that was,
Yeah, no, I feel you, because it's like, at the same time, I don't want to waste my time watching shows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it's kind of like, I like to keep it at a minimal, and like, if it has so many episodes, that's not really keeping it at a minimal, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it is what it is, people have different likes and tastes and preferences and how to do it. But I like watching a movie, having a good nice ending and going to bed or not a nice ending and then just pondering on it the whole week.
Yeah, no, I feel you because it's like because it's like a movie is just 2 hours at most, right? Usually.
Yeah.
But then a series that's like each like depending on the show,
Yeah.
each one will either be like 30 minutes
Right.
or an hour even. So it's like that ends up adding up a lot of time. What you could have spent on something else.
For sure. I mean, honestly, I'm bad because like I spoil the movies for myself. Like I'll watch movie recaps of like a new movie that came out or a new show, and that's how I'll watch movies. I'll watch 3-hour movies in 10 minutes, and I'll just spoil it to me. Just tell me what happens, and then okay, I get satisfied, and then I go on to another movie. Yeah, it's YouTube recaps. Like they'll recap the whole movie, summarize it, and give like the main points and like the plot development, and then the ending, and then I'm good.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what's actually weird? I've actually never had a problem with spoilers. I don't know why.
Well, people get triggered, bro. People get
a lot of people get like triggered. But like when someone would reveal like the ending of a movie, or they would like summarize the movie, I wouldn't get triggered by it. You know what I mean? If anything, it would probably help me understand the movie a little bit better.
Yeah. I don't know. People are very specific as to like what they take in terms of media consumption, and I feel like they want to have that element of that surprise, and they're so sensitive, to that because they just want that. They just want that element of surprise. They don't want nothing to be spoiled. They want to have an experience. They're paying for an experience, at a movie theater. But I mean, I don't know. Different minds, right? Different views.
Yeah. I guess maybe for a new movie, but it's like sometimes it'll be like even with books, right? Like they'll be reading a book. They're like, they don't want to hear any spoilers to the end of that book.
Right. Right.
And I'm just like, a million people have probably read it at this point. So,
Yeah, that's what I feel too. It's like, bro, like you're not the only one on earth, man, who's about to read this book, man. Like, just relax. Like, it'll come, Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
That's true.
So, before we end off, do you feel like you have do you feel like you weren't able to say anything that you want to say?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I mean, I like that we talked about, the martial arts aspect because again, that is my mission. That's my whole thing. Like I am huge on martial arts, but I mean, obviously like other topics, I'm also very comfortable with, but the martial arts was huge for me, man. Like I'm glad that, we were able to talk about that aspect of things because it's a very important aspect for both of us. You as a fighter who's been in the cage, I've witnessed him in the cage, putting in work and effort and stuff before and after the cage. So, and you witnessed me training and stuff and doing things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the first time training with you, I was just like, this guy knows how to kick really well. Usually, I'll be honest, like, cause I also have a Taekwondo background. Obviously it's not like as extensive as yours, but like most MMA fighters they don't have any concept like to that level. So I would usually be like the best one. Usually that would be able to kick that well. And it was nice seeing someone that could kick better than me.
It was nice seeing someone who could box better than me, let alone box. Like I just, but I appreciate it though. I appreciate it. You have good hands. I like your hands a lot, and your kicks are good too. For sure. I've worked with you. You already know, man. We worked at the gym multiple times, so I mean, we know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
You know what, man? I do appreciate having me on here and stuff, and I hope this project turns into something good. I was really excited actually coming to this podcast. I was like, ooh, like what's he gonna say? Like, what am I gonna do? Like,
yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah, no, I was honestly really excited to have you on here as well because obviously, like, I know like your background and just like we have a lot of similarities even outside of martial arts.
That's
like,
true.
Chess and like anime and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, not that like I'm really big into it, but like I would say like we're like I guess like moderately into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like slowly getting into it. So, it's nice to see people that you have a lot of like similarities with.
Oh, 100%. I was really happy doing this. This was really good. This was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So before we end off, I'd like to just say, it was obviously very nice having you on here. And, I hope that people can benefit from everything we just said. And, continue to support this channel. And, I hope you guys just, please like and subscribe so we can keep this content coming.
Let's get it, people. Come on. Gotta help out here.
And then until next time, peace.